You know, think about the last time you walked into a modern office building or a hotel, maybe even a hospital. Everything just works, right? The Wi Fi connects without a hitch, security doors swipe open, the screens in the lobby look perfect. We barely even notice it. But behind those walls, there's this huge, invisible network of technology. It's basically the building's central nervous system. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see what it takes to keep that incredible system alive and kicking. So, what happens when that nervous system gets a jolt? When the building's brain suddenly shuts down? I mean, it's a question we don't really think about, and that's kind of the point. These systems are designed to be so reliable that they become invisible. But our dependence on them? It's absolute. And when they go dark, well, the silence is deafening.
And we're not just talking about the Wi-Fi going down here. This whole tech ecosystem is way more complex than you might think. You've got the communications networks that carry all our data. You've got the security systems that are literally keeping us safe. All that audio-visual equipment in the meeting rooms. And of course, the big one, the fire safety infrastructure that protects actual lives. All of it has to play nice and work together all the time. So, when any single piece of that puzzle fails, it's more than just an inconvenience. It's a massive disruption. It disrupts business, it disrupts safety, it disrupts productivity. We're talking lost money, potential security breaches, and a huge, huge headache for the people in charge of these places. So that brings us to the heart of what we're talking about today. It's really a battle between two completely different ways of thinking. Do you just wait for the panic to set in when a system fails? Or do you focus on preventing it from ever happening at all? And this chart really lays it all out. On one side, you have reactive support. And honestly, it's basically just firefighting. You wait for the alarm to go off, for something to break, and then you scramble to fix it. That means unexpected downtime, surprise costs, and just chaos. But then, on the other side, you've got the proactive approach. This is all about finding issues early through scheduled checkups, which means you get to extend the life of your systems and keep things reliable. It's the fundamental difference between chaos and control. So this proactive approach has a name, preventative maintenance. And really, the best way to think about it is like a regular health checkup for the building's technology. It's just a series of scheduled inspections and tests that are all designed to catch the small problems before they blow up into catastrophic failures. It's all about being deliberate, not desperate. Okay, so how does this actually work? Well, proactive support isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. It's more like a spectrum of different strategies, a whole range of solutions you can tailor to what a specific building and its systems actually need. Let's break down the different levels of defense a building can have. At the base, you've got a service level agreement, an SLA. This guarantees someone will respond within a certain time when something does break. It's basically a more organized way to be reactive. Then you can step it up to a maintenance level agreement, or MLA, which adds in those planned service visits. And finally, for the really critical places, think hospitals, data centers, you have full coverage. That's the all-in, comprehensive approach where uptime is absolutely everything. So what's the game plan? What does this process actually look like on the ground? Well, it's super methodical. It all kicks off with a deep dive, a full review and analysis of everything that's already there. From there, the team moves into planned servicing and testing. If they find a fault, they diagnose it and fix it. Then they verify the performance to make sure it's all running like a top. And here's the kicker. It all ends with crystal clear documentation. That way the facilities teams know exactly what happened and have the proof they need for any kind of compliance checks. All right, so we get the process. But what's the payoff? What's the real-world impact of all this? That brings us to our final section today. The ripple effect. The tangible benefits that you get when you invest in this kind of reliability. You know, the number one benefit, the biggest win here, is actually pretty simple. Stuff just keeps working. When you catch those issues early, you dramatically cut down on all that chaotic, unexpected downtime we were talking about before. The whole goal is to make the technology so reliable, you actually forget it's there. And there's a really important human element to this. It's not just about the tech. Listen to what Miki Vogt, a managing director, has to say. Having that expert advice actually helps their company make smarter decisions. See, it's not just about fixing what's broken. It's about having the guidance to build a stronger, more resilient system in the first place. Okay, but let's be real for a second. Nothing is 100% perfect, right? Things can still happen. The second huge benefit of having a proactive plan is that when they do, problems get solved way, way faster.
I mean, think about it. A team that already knows your system inside and out can find and fix an issue so much more quickly than a team that's walking in totally cold.
And this is what that feels like to the people on the receiving end. A business specialist named Graham Cording shared this feedback he got from a client. When you have that expert team that knows what they're doing, they don't just fix the problem. They do such a good job, they get called the A-team. That's the kind of confidence you get from a structured process.
And here's the thing that's so important to get. None of these benefits exist in a vacuum. They all build on each other. They compound. Better performance gives you more stability. That clear documentation makes audits a breeze and gives everyone peace of mind. You end up extending the life of your expensive gear. And you build a system that's ready to scale up for whatever comes next. It just creates this amazing, positive cycle of reliability.
And the pressure for that reliability? Well, it is relentless. 365. That's how many days a year these critical systems are expected to just work. No excuses. These invisible networks, they don't get holidays. They don't get sick days. They are expected to be flawless around the clock. And to meet that expectation, you gotta have a plan.
So I'll just leave you with this one thought. The next time you walk into one of these big, modern buildings and everything just works perfectly, will you maybe take a second to think about that invisible network? That silent, complex, and absolutely vital system that's working hard, just out of sight, to keep our world connected and running smoothly?